Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we bring to you just on Adekola Tijani, aka Kamilu Kompo, aka Ambali. We'll be speaking on a few things about him, his life, his marriage, and his career. Adekola Tijani was born in Oyo State and he started his career right from Oyo State. He started his acting career in 1991 under the tutelage of Prince Sheyi Adeoye. Adekola Tijani and Sonyeri happens to be very good friends, and they both started their career the same year in Oyo State. As we all know that there is no career doesn't have its own difficulties and challenges to face. When they both started, they didn't know it wasn't child's play, because they started acting as a result of the fact that they see most of these actors on TV and they are very happy about it. Hence, they decided that they wanted to be actors. They both started meeting each other at a film house there in Oyo, and they never talked for one good year. But one of the days when Sonyeri was not around to see a movie at the film house, note this is not like a cinema whatsoever, it's just like a place where you pay money, like a local place, you pay money and you're allowed to see a movie. It's not like the contemporary cinema that we have now. Yes, it was called a cinema back then, but at the same time it wasn't as contemporary as the one we go to in recent times. Turning in an interview, it said and referred to Sonyeri as family. He said his word and quote, "We are not a family, but we are the same state. We know each other when watching movies together. We met well there, but we do not talk to each other. It's been a year since we met. Before we talked, I used to see him as where this guy was seeing money to watching a movie like mine. He often thinks the same thing about me. Later he went to join the theater and I did not see him at the cinema where we used to meet for about 2 weeks. And the next day I saw him. I asked him, where have you been all the while? And he told me, I have joined the theater group. I told him I was happy to, that I could follow him, and he replied that there was no problem. We went together. I'm still thinking to myself that the reason they took such a short shoot, they would took me, and they really took me. That's how it started." End quote. Note, these words were exactly Kamilu Kompo's words. From there, they both moved to Lagos in 1995, and it wasn't easy. It was tough for them. Both didn't finish their secondary school before they ventured into acting. He said and explained when they got to Lagos in 1995, they stayed with their auntie, and their auntie had just a room, and she was married with 5 children. They had no choice than to sleep under the staircase for 4 good years. Eventually they had to leave and venture into other businesses so they could raise money to get a place of their own. He said in his words, and I quote, "We went to Lagos in 1995 because I know Lagos before. That is where I finished my primary school. Sonyeri didn't know anywhere in Lagos at 1995. He has never been to Lagos. When I finished my primary school, I returned to Oyo. When we arrived at my sister's house, which I used to visit when I was in Lagos, we were both sleeping on the porch of their house because my aunt was living in a room with 5 children. Her husband was also there, and their girls who are matured among her children. We found out that there was no way we could sleep between this. The only place we could sleep is on that stair outside, and that was where we started sleeping. When it is raining, we have a bag leather to cover, or so that we don't have to worry about rain. We slept under the stairs for 4 years, but it was not easy for us. The theater that brought us to Lagos did not fetch us any money, so we went to look for another job. I go to the bakery, he goes to the shoemaker to raise money. When we put that money together, we took a room. We lived together. In 1996, we moved on to New Year's Eve at Oyo. That year we met Adekola Tijani. He was still trying to join theater at that time, so I gave him our address in Lagos and he came to meet us in Lagos. The 3 of us were living together. Ibrahim Chatta joined us and things started to look a bit different. End quote. If you're an Ibrahim Chatta lover, you would know that he himself made mention of it, that he didn't finish his secondary school before he ventured into acting. He started at a very early age, and this is Adekola Tijani testifying to this, that they all started at a very young age. Well, like Yoruba people will always say that 20 children cannot play for 20 years. Each and every one of them now are in different stages of their lives, and they are doing pretty well for themselves in the Nollywood industry. In fact, on his wedding day, it was Ibrahim Chatta that stood as the best man on that day. Recently, Adekola Tijani celebrated his 14th-year wedding anniversary. He took to his Instagram page to appreciate his wife, elogize her, and thanked her for being there for her. They were both in the Nollywood industry, but she had to sacrifice her own career so she can keep her home. In a beautiful picture where he shared online himself, his wife, and his 2 children, he added a caption saying, and I quote, "After several years of heartbreak, you, my darling angel, came into my life and rescued me with your love. I always have a broad smile on my face because of you. Thank you so much. Ajia Temitokpe Tijani at Temitokpe Tijani 1. The day I found you was the very day I discovered my life. You bring good fortune to me, and that makes me wonder if you are an angel in disguise. Happy 14th years wedding anniversary. My whole world was colonized by darkness until you step in with your light. Now I have nothing to fear because I know you will always be there to make my life brilliant. Happy anniversary, honey." At Topsy for TJ. End quote. This was Kamilu Kompo eulogizing his wife. Who could have thought that Kamilu Kompo, the funny and comic actor, could be this romantic to even think of celebrating his 14th-year wedding anniversary? It is amazing. Well, on how they met each other, Adekola Tijani made mention that he met his wife in a group theater belonging to Muyiwa Ademola. She was a trainee then in 2004, and what attracted him to her is her manners. She is well mannered and well behaved. He said, and I quote, "The first thing that attracted me to my wife is her manners. She's well mannered. She and our contemporaries who were training under Mr. Authentic were humble and well behaved. I have noticed that they don't jump from one location to the other. If their boss doesn't permit them to go to a location, they won't. My eyes had been on her, and when I also saw that she's a Muslim and my sister's namesake, I started to like her. In all, she's a unique person to me, so I settled for her in my heart." Aww. He continued by saying, "We dated for 3 years before we got married. After I met her in 2004, she was also featured in the first movie I produced in 2005. It was when that production was ongoing that I started to make my move. I couldn't approach her directly. I spoke to another actress, Esther Kalejai, who asked what my intentions are towards the lady because the ladies in that group are known to be disciplined. She asked if I wanted something serious with her, and I said yes, that I wanted to marry her. Things got serious in 2007, and that was when we got married in December 2007. This was Adekola Tijani explaining in an interview with The Punch. Adekola Tijani, who is known for his role in Kamilu Kompo and Muniru Ati Ambali movies respectively, is doing excellently well in his career as a comic actor. Well guys, there you have it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye.